What's going on, everybody? This is Lloyd Marshall Briggery, and this is another exciting episode of Breaking In, the path of the aspiring comic book artist. Right now, it's about 7 p.m. I'm home, and I'm set up in my studio, and I'm about to caffeinate. Whoa, look at the size of that coffee. Foreshortening for the comic book artist. How's that? Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. Big shout out to all my Breakin In brethren. Loving the videos you guys are posting, Dropper and Aries. Hey man, you know I love you, brother. Got your back. I'm right here with you. You guys, make sure you go over to Aries' page and show him some love. He's going through some tough challenges right now, so let him feel some of that support. Ernesto, what's up, brother? Que pedo way. That's a little something I learned on my travels. And Damien, I'm sure Damien is fighting crime somewhere in Gotham. So big shout out to everybody. It is Wednesday. I think it's the last day of November, so it's November 30th. Tomorrow's December 1st. Boy, I gotta say, November is probably one of the most productive months I've had on this side of graduating from the Kubert School. I thank you guys for following me through that 35-day challenge. I'm working really hard to finish these pages for the book. I'm doing that right now, working on my first double-page spread tonight. And yeah, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll see all the progress and process and updates for all of that. So keep an eye out on it. This is Marshall's Art at Instagram. So, search for that. Or if you look for hashtag Copics or Samson the Nazarite, you'll find it. I'm the only person putting content out there like that right now that I can see. So what have I been doing? I've just been working, guys. I'll put down in the link somewhere, or actually in the comment section, I'll put a copy of my daily schedule. But it looks something like wake up at 4:30, get my mind right, get my spirit right, do some exercise and get my body right, and then I start drawing about 7:30 in the morning for a couple hours, and then I head off to work at this Kubert School. I try to get back home around 4:30ish, and give myself to about 6 o'clock to get ready for tomorrow, or if I got to do any cooking or whatever, do some errands, get my odds and ends, eat dinner, and then from 7 to 11:30, 6 to 11:30, I'm back drawing. So I wanted to pause in the action tonight and get a video in. So, I go to bed about 11:30. You got to go to bed early if you want to wake up early. And I'm a big fan now. I've been doing this 4:30 wake up since sometime in August. So we're headed into December. So August, September, October, November, 4 months, give or take, a couple weeks. And it was hard at first, but now it's normal, it's natural. In 10 years in the Army, I was never a morning person. Any of my Army friends will tell you that. I was the guy that was always late or right on time, or, got lucky because formation got pushed back 5 minutes before formation. I mean, I've made a living, not being on time and not getting in trouble for it. So these aren't good skills to have. It's just survival. But for whatever reason, I just didn't get the mental switch. But now I have it. So, nothing happens at that hour. Nobody's doing anything. Most of the world is asleep. So it's a good way to seize the day, I found. For me. I mean, you got to find what works for you, obviously. But that's working for me right now. So I'll, do it till it doesn't work anymore. And then I'll do something else. That being said, I want to talk real quick about patience and progress or process. Sunday, so today is Wednesday. Sunday, I went to Starbucks to kind of hang out and change the atmosphere, but to do some administrative work. And what did that look like? That looked like, that looked like me going on Instagram on my phone and researching hashtags based off the content that I publish, and finding the popular ones, and finding I like to do kind of a very popular, kind of popular, and not so popular at all. because I like to try to kind of play with the algorithm of Instagram. Instagram is very rewarding if you're consistent. So I know I told you guys in my last video I was going to start upping the consistency of putting content out on Instagram. So did a lot of, I mean, I must have spent 2 or 3 hours researching the hashtags that kind of pertain to what I do, and came up with a number of lists of hashtags, because if you are around my age, then all this new technology is exactly at its new technology. Now, if you're 25, 26 years old, this is normal to you. But for those of you that are over 30, the 30 and up crowd, what up? We're having to, like, re-educate. You know, we're having to unlearn the things that we were taught were normal, and this is the method, and now we're having to adapt to, you know, today's environment. And that's good. That's okay. That's fine. It's not, I don't necessarily think it's survival of the fittest. It's survival of the most adaptable, if that makes any sense. So, yeah, I took time out to do some real research on Instagram and found out what works. And I think every week I'll reassess, you know, because I don't want to get stagnant. I don't want to stagnate. But yeah, did that, made my list. So now when I post, I don't have to think of 30 hashtags. I can just go to my notes section, copy it, and paste it. Boom. Instagram, done. What I need to do is get better at Facebook and really start investing in Facebook ads. So I'll start doing that. Eventually, you know, maybe I'll treat myself for Christmas. Also, I heard on a blog recently, you know, there's a ratio, there's a number out there, you know, people study this stuff on Kickstarters that fail, and you know, just the success rate of Kickstarters. And there's one guy, I think his name is Seth Godin, and you guys can Google him up. He's a pretty famous guy. He said you should start your Kickstarter project 5 years out. And he literally meant 5 years. And, you know, for those of us who want what we want when we want it, you know, I mean, that's just human nature, I think. But you gotta reel in the anxiety or the anticipation, and you gotta play this thing for the long haul, the long game. Meaning, you know, I want a career. I want to be, like, I'm 36 right now, and I want to be doing this, drawing in my studio, talking to you guys, interacting, putting out content. I want to be doing this when I'm 96, 106. You know, I do plan on living that long. But no, for real though, I want to be doing this for a while. So I'm not so much in a rush to make it as much as I am focused on building the habits that are sustainable, and, you know, making sure that I'm still fresh 20 years from now, 5 years from now, 30 years from now, because you don't want to be a supernova. You know, you don't want to rise, catapult to the top, and then whoop, fall right back down. So I'm okay with the slow burn, simmering and leading up into a boil that, you know, and never hitting the apex of that ascension. Just keep going. One of the people I admire, obviously, is Joe Kubert. You know, I still work at the Kubert School to this day, and Joe was, I mean, he was drawn up until his last day. I'd love to do that. So, you know, grace of God, you know, I can continue, and, you know, I'll be able to afford to do something like that. But, yeah, and he was still getting better. He's still taking a life drawing class. So, you know, yeah, that's word to the wise. Always keep growing, always keep getting better. And growth may look something like criticism. It may look something like rejection. It may look something like stagnation at times. But, you know, it's like, it's what's the saying? They tried to bury me. They didn't know I was a seed. Right? So you just got to keep chipping away at it. Keep chipping away. Keep chipping away. And know that you're getting better. Look at your old stuff. Put it up next to your new stuff. And look at it. And be objective about it. Oh, man, that kind of sucked. And, oh, look, this is actually, it is visibly better. Actually, I have a page, one of the pages out of Samson that's complete, and it's a redo of a page I did earlier this year in February. And oh my goodness, it looks like two different people drew it, and it was only 6 months apart. Same script, same scene, very similar camera angles. I changed the storytelling up in the newest version, so I've grown as a storyteller. Like, it's more efficient. I think the first version had 6 or 7. I think it had 6 panels. The new version has 3 panels. So, storytelling's much more efficient. Really says what it needs to say, and then you move on. But the drawing is just stronger. Just bolder lines. Just, it's very deliberate and intentional. And in February, I got to be honest, what I drew then was the best that I could draw at that moment. It was the absolute best that I had. And just through time, 6 months time, my goodness, like I said, it looks like two different people drew it. So I'll probably put that in the comment section, or throw that up sometime this weekend so you guys can really see what I'm talking about. But do that, and just be patient. As long as you're chipping away at it, and moving forward, you're trending in the right direction, right? You'll get there. So hey, that's the mission. We got to stay on mission. Thank you guys for your time. Thank you for your attention. And hey, you know what I mean? Sometimes things go left or right, but the mission still continues. And you got to continue mission, or as we say in the Army, Charlie Mike. Okay, people, much love. Peace.